And as we continue to get more small wins like this, I think across our sites, they're wins for ACE, they're wins for our educators, they're wins for our students. And I hope more of our educators will be less afraid and more bold in asking for what is needed.
Hello, and welcome to the ACE Pod, a production of the Association of Clovis Educators. This episode is going to be nice and short. Nancy Welch, a great teacher from our Adult Transitions program, is going to tell us a great story about the value of collective action, about overcoming fear and working together to value the labor of educators so that they can better serve kids. Nancy, welcome to the ACE Pod.
Thank you.
So, Nancy, will you just start by telling us a bit about yourself and what you do here in Clovis Unified?
Sure. My name is Nancy Welch. I'm a special education teacher here in Clovis Unified. I'm in my 8th year, and I work at the Adult Transition program.
Could you just, for those of us who, work at the high school level or elementary level, the adult transition program might be a little mysterious. Can you just give us kind of a short 30-second rundown of what that is?
Yeah, sure. So we serve students with special education services who are 18 to 22 years old. So they're coming from our high schools and here in Clovis Unified. And we have 12 different classes at the moment and a few different programs that are defined based on the amount of support that we would be providing those students. So it's 12 different classes, and we're all special education. It's a really unique and great place to work. I really only want to work there. I've only worked there. This is my 8th year there, and it's an awesome environment.
And this, you didn't work anywhere else prior to Clovis Unified? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, this is my 8th year as a teacher, and I started at the Adult Transition program.
And so a student goes through, say, I work at Clovis East High School, so they're finished at Clovis East High School, and then how do they come to you?
Right. So if they are receiving special education services at Clovis East and they're not on a diploma track, they qualify for 4 more years with Clovis Unified. So then they would come to us until they're 22 years old, and then at that point, federal and state funding kicks in for them to be able to go on to a community program, an adult day program outside of the district.
All right. And then how many students do you all serve?
Ooh, that's a hard question. But each class has anywhere between 6 to maybe 25 students. It depends on if they need more support, throughout their school day, then that would be like my class. It was considered a severely disabled class. So I have 7 students actually right now. And then we have some students that are in a more of an RSP kind of a setting where they have, they need less support throughout the day. So those students are there's a higher caseload, about 25 students. Up just off the top of my head.
Right. And how many educators work in the program?
Right now we have 12.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome. That's amazing. Okay. So you are a member of ACE, and ACE. You and ACE recently achieved a victory for educators in Clovis Unified. So can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So through just ongoing conversations with other teachers at my site, we identified a pretty big issue that honestly we just didn't even realize before. I don't know if it was just something we hadn't thought of. I'm not sure why we didn't think of it before, but we're working the same minutes as high school teachers, and high school sped teachers that don't receive a prep without students get a stipend. So there's a lot of SD teachers at the high school level that receive a stipend that have classes similar to mine. So their students are in their classroom all day. And at the Adult Transition program, because of our facilities, the way that they are, our students are in our classroom pretty much throughout their whole school day. So we ended up holding a meeting with just teachers about a month ago without any admin, and we came up with some solutions. We voted on the solutions, and we decided we were going to ask our admin for a stipend.
Okay, so the stipend for like a high school teacher, and I guess this is indicative of what I brought up early, right? The adult transition is a pretty mysterious thing. We're also like in our little silos, right? And we don't know what's going on at everybody's different site. So a high school teacher, right? If they worked all day and they didn't have a prep, then they would get an extra stipend. And you all were working all day and not getting, the extra pay. That's essentially the problem, right? And then, so how did you? So once you decided to kind of, what your solutions would be, what did you do then?
Then we presented it to our program specialist, who's our admin at our site, what we wanted, that we wanted a stipend. And she told us she would ask about it and find out and get back to us. And then just recently we received the news that we will now be getting the stipend. So it's really exciting. It's a huge win for us at our site, but it's also a huge win for ACE, because this is just another example of how organizing can elicit real results for educators and also for their students.
Right, yeah. Was there pushback from administration, or administration was open to the idea? Was there, negotiation? What did that process look like?
I honestly think we were expecting a lot of pushback. I think there were a lot of us, we've all felt that culture of fear at Clovis Unified that many educators have felt at some point or another. And especially when asking for a raise or a stipend, no one goes into teaching for the money, but we all knew when we went into teaching that it's a challenging job, but we did it because we love it. But we've been able, we need to be able to attract and hire and retain great teachers. So I think we had to really remind ourselves of that when asking for the stipend. And we were all really surprised that we didn't get any pushback. So I think we were just really surprised that we can ask for something that not only that we want or that we need, but we've already been earning, and actually receive it.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things there, right? Number one, like your labor is valuable, right? You deserve to be paid for the work that you do. And then number two, I think it's indicative of we exist in a culture where we're just not used to like asking for the things we need, and lo and behold, that like, hey, we can work in collaboration and partnership and say, hey, we deserve this, and reasonable people can come together and make the right decision. All right, so that's great. Congratulations on kind of identifying the problem and then going out there and making it happen. And it also seems indicative of coming together, right, as a culture, right? All of you agreed as teachers, had your teacher only meeting, and decided let's do this together. All right, so maybe we've already talked about it, but what lessons do you think we can learn from this that can be applied kind of our broader movement of organizing ACE, and then why is ACE the answer?
Yeah, so I think, like I was saying, the teachers at my site, and I think across the board, we've all felt that fear at some point, or the hesitation to ask for things, or especially that we didn't have the power to actually create any real change, and that administration holds all the power. And I think that's where a lot of this culture of fear resides, that administration has this overarching power, and that as educators, we have no voice. But in seeing this example of unionizing in action and organizing around an issue, it's clear that we do have so much power, and the power to make change. And as we continue to get more small wins like this, I think across our sites, they're wins for ACE, they're wins for our educators, they're wins for our students. And I hope more of our educators will be less afraid and more bold in asking for what is needed.
Yeah, very nice. And I like the last thing you said there. It's a win for our students, right? Better compensated teachers who feel valued and have a voice are better teachers for students. So, Nancy, go. Sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say exactly. Exactly how it affects students. And we want to be able to keep those great teachers here in our district. And we're all here because we love our students.
Exactly. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Nancy for joining us. It is important to note that these teachers have been working without this pay for the last 3 or 4 years. It's an important reminder that collective action works, that together we can overcome our fear, and that administration and ACE are perfectly capable of working together to create the conditions necessary to better serve our students. We know it is hard out there right now, and we appreciate all of you. Let us know if we can do anything to help, and reach out to your local ACE leaders when you are ready to join us. You can find us at www.cloviseducators.org and with our handle @ClovisEducators on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We are Clovis Unified, we are ACE, and we are here to stay.